All right, you guys. So happy Labor Day 2025. And today we are going to get a look at a couple of figures for a show that doesn't quite get enough love. It's very underrated, which is Star Wars Skeleton Crew, a show that I thoroughly enjoyed. If you watch my reactions, you'll know that it is a series that I enjoyed quite a bit. Is it a little kid-centric? Yeah, maybe. But there are some very cool high stakes that are involved. If you have kids that you're trying to get into Star Wars, it's an excellent show as an introductory for Star Wars, in my opinion. This is one of the few that I really have enjoyed quite thoroughly. So if you haven't checked out Skeleton Crew, I think you should check it out. Especially if you have young children that you're trying to introduce into Star Wars, a great introductory series, young boys as well as young ladies into Star Wars. So again, we're going to get a look at these three figures here today, starting with our Jod, Nod, Norwood Star Wars Skeleton Crew figure. And then we also have our SM33. And then we also have our Pirate Captain Brutus Port Borg version of this particular character. So really cool. I actually thoroughly enjoyed all three of these characters in the series, specifically SM33. He was just absolutely awesome. Jod was also awesome as well. And then as a threat, I would have to say maybe a B- threat, and Brutus. I thought he was fairly decent as well. As I mentioned, it is a great series, guys. But here, getting you a look at the box, we have our Black Series logo at the top of each one of our boxes, our figures in the window, also pictured with their various accessories. A couple of these guys come with quite a few accessories there on Jod's part and as well as Brutus's part. And then, of course, you also get the shields for your SM33 figure. So for this line, you really do get quite a few necessary accessories to go with your figures, which is absolutely awesome. Again, if you're trying to get your kids into Star Wars and you want them to start collecting the figures, these figures do come with quite a bit for your kids to kind of get involved with if they're into figures. I'm not sure what the young kids are into these days. I think they're more electronic centric than they are physical, actual toys. But for us adult collectors who grew up on these type of things, it is still kind of cool to kind of get these type of figures, especially when their face print technology is providing you the actual face of the actor who played that character. And then, of course, you also have your banner across each one of your boxes. Your Jod is number 1, SM33 is number 7, and then, of course, Brutus is number 6 in the Star Wars Skeleton Crew line. Your warning label, 4 and up, Hasbro logo on each one of your boxes. Let's get a look at the side profile for each one of your boxes. So getting you a look at the side panel for each one of your boxes with your Jod. You have him on that moon where we meet the owl-like species, and I forget her name. It's been a few months since December since I watched the series. I only watched it on one take. But again, you can watch my reactions on my playlist here on the channel. But he is pictured on that moon, which is a really cool scenery. Of course, you have Brutus, who is obviously pictured on Port Borgo, which is really nice. Very cool scenery in that scene as well. A lot of action in that scene. And then you have SM33 right there. I'm assuming he's actually on the port as well, since they're actually right next to each other in the line, 6 and 7 in the line. And you can see in the background, they have the matching background right there. So some really nice stuff for your panel for all 3 of your figures right here. And then for your side panel for all 3 of your figures, again, you have your Black Series logo, your illustration on each one of your characters there. You have a small blurb for each one of your characters. Again, Norwood is a number 1 in the line, Brutus number 6, and SM33 is number 7 in the line. And then, of course, you have all of your other readables at the bottom of each one of the boxes. We're going to skip the blurb on each one of these characters. If you're not familiar with the series, Jod is kind of a anti-hero in the series. Brutus is he is a part of the villain. He is the villain of the series, but there is a greater threat that also as well, but he is a part of the villainy in the series. And then you have SM33, who is not only the comic relief in the series, but he's also the muscle in the series as well. And he is a really cool character, one of my favorite characters in the series by far. So there you have all 3 of the back of your boxes for all 3 of your characters for the Skeleton Crew series, guys. All right, guys, and we have the boxes back around to the front. So we're going to open all 3 of these guys, get a look at all of the detail on each one of our figures here, and then we're going to get them in a very cool diorama, so please do stay tuned. All right, you guys, so first impressions right out of the box. I do like all 3 of these figures. I think they're very cool, very true to the series. With Jod, no issues whatsoever. First impressions out of the box. Didn't mess with the articulation too much. Threw the headscarf on him just to see how it fit. Looks pretty good as compared to the series, how he wore it in the series. So no issues there. Very cool. And then with Brutus, you have a lot of storage for his weapons, which is really nice. I kind of looked at the side panel to see where each gun might go, just kind of trying to eyeball it from the handle of each gun. And then I had to assume with the gun that's on his left hip there, because I don't think you could see it on the side panel. However, I just figured it was the longer curved handle pistol. We're going to look at all 4 pistols that come with this character. Very nice accessories with all 3 of these figures. Jod only comes with 2, but still nice. He could have just come with the weapon and not the scarf. Jod should have come with the helmet that he wears at the very beginning of the series. If you haven't seen the series, you don't actually get to see Jod's face in the beginning of the series. He's wearing a very cool helmet that we didn't get with this particular version of the character for some reason. So I am a little disappointed and going to knock the character for that. But other than that, no problems with Jod. And then, of course, again, Brutus, very nice accessory and accessory storage. And just firsthand look at the detail. I think he looks absolutely awesome. Looks great. He is based off of the character that we saw in the original version of Star Wars, which later became A New Hope, converted to the special edition. And I'm not sure if this character was removed from the special editions. My recollection is kind of failing me right now. I did watch Star Wars A New Hope in the theaters as a kid in '77. I remember the original version. I remember this character. And we've seen different versions of this species sprinkled in different pieces of literature throughout Star Wars. And now we have one here again back in live action in this particular series. So very cool figure. I think it looks absolutely awesome. And then last but very much not least is SM33, or simply 33. He is absolutely awesome looking. I like the detail on him just first glance. I didn't get a close look at him, but looking at him, eyeballing him here, he looks absolutely awesome. He is missing one eye, which is how the character is depicted in the series. If you don't know, he has a mouse or some kind of furry creature. I don't know if it's a mouse because that would be too close to Earth, being an earthly type of creature, but he has some kind of furry creature that lives in his eye. So he comes with a little mouse that I believe you can plug in his eye right there. I'm not sure. I haven't done it yet. But he is one of the accessories that comes with this guy. So again, you get quite a few accessories, each one of your characters here. But he looks very, very awesome right out of the box. The hip swivel, very loose on my character. I don't know if that's intentional, but that is very loose. And then for the accessories, you have these little small shields right there that you see on each side of his arms right there. Those pan out to convert to these blast shields that are able to withstand blast. So for those two pieces there, in order to fit that blaster that I just showed you, one of them, or you have two for each arm, there are little slots on each side of the arms where you can remove those two versions of the shield and then use the circle paneled shields when he's trying to protect the kids and protect himself from blast fire, which is a very cool feature for this guy. But again, first impressions with your SM33 figure, the hips are very, very loose. The swivel on the hips are very loose, but I did get them to stand with no problem, so that wasn't an issue at all, guys. But let's go ahead and get you a closer look at each one of our figures, starting with Jod. We'll just get started with Jod and go right down the line with each one of your figures. Let's get you a closer look. So getting you a closer look at your Jod, Norwood. Again, that scarf is removable. This is a scarf that you... Well, again, he comes with a helmet that you initially see him in, but obviously you can't see his face. And then he wears this scarf for a short period of time in the series before he goes full-time, full face in this series. So that is a look with the character with the scarf. And then when you remove the scarf, you get a very nice head sculpt of the actor who plays Jod, and then you have a good look at his outfit. You have the jacket. The jacket, unfortunately, is not removable. It is removable. I think you could take the jacket portion off, but then you would have the purple sleeves still left on there. So there's a good look at Jod. And see, and that's why he should have come with his helmet, because the jacket is a part of the of his look as a pirate with that helmet. So very nice. The jacket is very, very cool though. I like the trimming, the gold trimming on the cuffs, around the pockets, the edges of the pocket. Very pirate-esque. And then you have some nice texture on the lapels. And for the backside, you have some artificial seams that just makes it look like it is a very solid quality long coat, pirate coat. So very, very nice job with the look of the coat there. Very good. And then for the inside, his uniform on the inside, you just have a bluish gray shirt and I have to say like a plumish colored pants. They don't exactly match the jacket, but close enough. And then you have some very nice boots, the little bit of paint that goes around the trim of the boot there as well. So very nice. And just to conserve some time, we'll just go over some very key points of articulation, starting with the arm. It goes all the way around there, so there's no issue there. If you're trying to give him a cross hand pose, that's probably as good as you're going to get it right there. Going back, you're only going to go about that far going back. Then for your weapon for Jod, and I apologize for the glare, guys, but he has a curved handle pistol, very pirate-esque. You get a little splash of what looks to be gold on there on the barrel, and then a little brown on the handle, and then overall black for the rest of the pistol. but it's a very nice looking pistol, very pirate-esque, as I mentioned, which definitely goes with the overall theme of the series. So very, very nice weapon. Does a nice job of holding the weapon. Finger is on the trigger. Does a very nice job as well. Then again, for your scarf, it's just a molded scarf that goes over the character's head. Again, he only wore it for a short period of time. I would have rather got the helmet as opposed to the scarf, but it is a nice accessory. Maybe we'll get a version of him with the helmet. Maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity to give us that helmet as opposed to the scarf here, but there's a look at the scarf right there. All right, you guys, and then getting you a look at Brutus, and the design of this character is just really, really nice. I love the texture on his chest plate. That's just really nice. And then the texture that's on his shoulders as well. And then you have the bandolier that holds the majority of his weapons. He's got quite a few weapons, quite a few accessories, so that's also nice as well. You have some texture on the forearms there, a couple of bands around the forearms. So a very nice design for this character. And then, of course, he has two side holsters for his two other weapons. So comes with a total of 5 weapons, which is absolutely awesome. You get some paint apps along the skirt, along with more texture. So again, he has a very, very cool design. Lots of weathering around the trim on the cuffs, as well as the bottom of the skirt there. So that's also nice. A similar boot pattern to Jod a little bit, but still nice nonetheless. He, again, is a very, very cool looking figure. Very nice. The biggest points of articulation, just to save time again, guys, is going to be the shoulder dressing here. This molding here will kind of hinder him going all the way around. Can do it, but it kind of gets in the way a little bit. But he can most definitely do that. If you force it, you can get around that, but it is there, unfortunately. And then in the knee, he goes back about that far, no double joint. So that's as far as you're going to get going back in the knee. All right, you guys. And then to get you a look at Brutus's weapons, starting with the weapon that is on his left hip. This obviously is another revolver with the curved handle. You have a little paint apps there on the barrel. And then you have a light gray over the majority of the barrel of the gun. And then, of course, you have the brown handle for the, again, the curved handle, which seems to be a favorite of pirates in the Star Wars galaxy. Okay, and then here again, you have another curved handle with the wood color, some gold across the barrel over a, again, light gray for the gun. Very nice pistol. This is one of the pistols that are held over the chest in the bandolier. And then you have this weapon here, which is a blaster, obviously a little more high powered than the previous 2 guns. You have a little bit of gold over the nozzle, some silver underneath, and just towards the back end of the barrel, and then a darker gun gray over the handle. So very nice weapon as well. And then again, you have another curved handle with a little bit of gold at the tip of the handle, with the brown gold on the barrel over a light gray for the barrel and around the trigger. Very, very nice looking weapon as well. And then for our final weapon, it is a blaster that has the curved handle. Again, a favorite of the pirates in the Star Wars galaxy. You have some touches of gray across the barrel there over a darker machine gun gray for your weapon. Some nice texture across the top. So your man comes with 5 different blasters, pistols, and then again to get you a look at the weapon storage. Again, you have the weapon on the hip, the weapons in the bandolier across the chest, and then finally the side weapon on the right hip, which has a holder for the holster for that weapon. So very, very nice stuff. Very nice storage. Very cool character. Very, very nice. All right, you guys. And then for the figure that I think is the star of this review right here, and maybe even for the series, even though I think the series, again, has some really great characters. All the characters are great. Even the kids, who if incidentally, I haven't picked up any of the figures of the kids in the series, unfortunately. So I still need to pick those guys up. Hopefully I will be able to get those guys sometime in the near future. But getting you a look at SM33 here, he has some excellent detail. As you can see, some nice weathering all over the metal body. This guy, if you don't know, was kind of stored or stuck for several years on a ship, and no maintenance or nothing. He had to be powered up, and that's all I'll disclose about this guy's entry into the series. But that's to explain the weathering that you got there. Some of the missing parts, the missing eye there, the stub for the left foot to kind of give him that pirate stub that you usually see pirates with. Again, there's a look at the 2 pieces on the forearm. Those pieces come out, and that's where you would put the fully exposed blast shields that he uses in the series. And then getting you a look at the back, the wires that connect to his head, which is awesome. A look at the wiring in the back. You don't get as much color for the wiring in the back as you do in the front, and not as much weathering on the back as you do on the front, unfortunately. There are definitely some reused parts. The joints here, I think we've seen on some of the newer droids, the Republic droids, I believe. The foot there is definitely, I believe, from the Republic droid. But you can see he has some different parts there, mismatched parts, again, for that peg leg there, which just kind of adds to the overall look, the weathering. But I think he looks great. He looks absolutely awesome. So with your SM33, one of the accessories is the small creature that lives in his eye. And it's a little hard to make it out, but it's kind of like a rat-looking creature. At first, I wasn't sure what this accessory was. I thought it was maybe a communicator at first, but then it became obvious that this is the creature that lives in his eye. So a very cool detail and accessory to go with your SM33 figure. Very, very cool stuff. Hard to make out exactly what it is. But as you can see, I'm trying to do the best to get you guys a look at the detail on there. There is a little detail there that kind of lets you know it is some kind of creature of some type, some kind of critter. So he does fit in the eye, and I believe I have him in there correctly. I'm not 100% sure. My eyesight isn't as good as it used to be, so I'm not sure if he's in there correctly, but that was the best that I can get him in there. In the eye. But again, it is a very, very cool detail and accessory to go with your SM33 figure. Very, very nice stuff. Very, very small item, can easily be lost. I see this thing getting lost with a lot of collectors. If you're a loose collector, you're probably going to end up losing that little guy, unfortunately. But he is cool. It is nice. It is a very cool detail. Very, very small. One of those small little items that usually ends up getting lost. But very, very nice. And then again, you have those forearm shields on either side that pop off. Like so. Pull it off. Have that nice little slot right there. Each one of the shields has obviously a little piece that fits in those slots, and it's specific to each arm. This one is going to be for your right arm. So as you can see, that slot has that L shape, the same L shape there. And then once you have your shields on, they fit in very nice and snug in those slots to fully show that those original arm shields kind of fan out into this circular shape and allows him to block laser blasts. As you can see, blast damage on each one of the shields there. So a very, very nice accessory again for your figure. So this guy comes with quite a few accessories. I believe for the price point, which I believe is $34.99, I believe, somewhere in that area, maybe even as high as $37, almost $40. And he is a nice size figure as well. Not as big as Zeb or some of the larger figures in the line, but he is a nice size figure. And again, comes with quite a few accessories, which is always nice if you're, especially if you're going to pay for a figure at that very steep price point. But very cool, very nice. There's a look at your blast shields and how they connect onto your figure. Key points of articulation: the leg only goes back about that far. In the show, there's this very cool feature that he has where he has the ability to kind of grow or stretch himself a little bit. And they were able to incorporate that feature with this figure. So in your abdomen area, he pops up like that, where you can see more of the wiring. And then in the arms, they pop out like that. So in both arms, you have the feature where it pops out. It pops in and out right there on both arms. And then just above the knee, the legs stretch out as well. And then one other articulation option that I missed is the peg leg. It has the option of going in and out as well. Another item that I missed is this acrylic stand for your SM33 figure. Another very cool accessory and option for your figure. As I mentioned earlier in the review, the twist in the torso, just very, very loose. It also is the twist in the hips as well. The foot seems to be rather loose as well, but not a big issue. I haven't had any issues with him standing at all. So not a big deal at all. I think he looks great. Even with the peg leg, you still have some pretty good standing and posing ability with this guy. We're going to get these guys in a very cool diorama, so please do stay tuned. there you have your John Norwood figure, your Brutus figure, and your SM33 figure for the Black Series line of figures for the Skeleton Crew series. Some really cool figures, as I mentioned, lots of accessories, some very, very nice detail, especially when it comes to SM33. Not a lot of issues at all with these guys. I guess the biggest complaint that I have among these three guys is the fact that John does not come with the helmet that he wears in the initial part of the series. I don't know if it's a big part of his character, but it is part of his character nonetheless. So I think that would have been a nice accessory to add as opposed to the sculpted scarf. But that's just my opinion, guys. But let me know what your thoughts are in regards to not only these three figures and if you have picked them up, but did you watch the Skeleton Crew series? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Look, guys, I'm a 55-year-old man, and of course the series is a little kid-centric, but I think there is something there for some adults as well. So if you did check out the series, let me know what your thoughts are in regards to the series. Did you like the series? Did you enjoy some of these characters in the series such as I did? I thought SM33 was most definitely a standout character. Brutus was absolutely awesome as well in his role. And then of course, John Norwood, what can you say? I think he's an absolutely awesome character. I hope we get to see more of this character in Star Wars, in future Star Wars, in my opinion, guys. I thought he was absolutely awesome. And I wouldn't mind seeing SM33 again as well, somewhere down the line, guys. But let me know what your thoughts are in regards to not only these figures, but the series. Put those comments down below. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.